injury and back issue. And also Teddy Pendergrass, a musician, I think it's Teddy Pendergrass. He actually lived in the Warwick, or stayed in the Warwick, which is just down the street from me. It was all kinds of drama in his life because he was a famous musician and everything. Anyway, he wound up paralyzed. Am I going straight or? So he wound up paralyzed. But this was after like the death of a girlfriend, or there's all kinds of drama. And anyway, so apparently the Warwick has its fair share of like horror stories or war stories from eons ago in its heyday or whatever. It's been revamped. So the word revamped might be used on purpose. So when somebody says it's been revamped, it could be re-vampired. So people drawing blood on people, and you don't know how they're doing it, that kind of thing. It's not always like in person. So anyway, that's my little story of the week. I've had all kinds of strange things occur, and it's this thing where it's like, well, what are you supposed to do if all these crazy weird things occur? What if it's a form of remote harassment? And how do you prove it? How do you keep going on? How do you earn a normal living? So anyway, that's it. But I knew within a split second, I was like, we'll sit here really still, and it'll go away, because it's, you know, I know myself. And sure enough, just the fever came on and like burned out whatever it was. So really quick. It was like literally a 5-minute episode, if you will. So I made some beetroot hummus, homemade, raw, vegan, organic, and so good. Oh my god. And I wanted to have some, there's a scooter guy just went past. Yeah, luckily that Mitsubishi didn't pull out on him, and he's in Scrubs, so but anyway, wanted to get some maybe carrots and celery sticks to have with it. I don't want to just eat bread with it, because I try not to eat too much bread. So it's the carbs and the sugars that, you know, that are in bread naturally for the most part, you know. And anyway, I could use some carrots. Carrots have come up a lot recently because the last time I made this hummus, I bought carrots thinking I would use them for something else, and then I wound up dipping them in the hummus. And then a friend of mine sent like a bunch of pictures. He's like, oh my god, there's a rabbit that keeps showing up in my parents' yard. You know, he kind of calls him Thumper. Anyway, see what they're doing. There's like a French communication school up here, and they've got the blue awning is French communication. They've got either Pico or similar hanging out outside. So it's Pico. I guess they're really in front of these other homes. I'm on 22nd Street right now. I first went north on 17th. You didn't see that part. I turned the camera on Market at 17th. Then went west to 22nd Street. Now I'm heading north on 22nd Street. The Arches. This is a cluster of townhomes. I always wonder about places, you know, having been a dog walker and a house sitter, like cat sitter, dog sitter, having been in many, you know, I'm kind of lucky. I've seen a lot of different dwellings in Philadelphia, but in the end you can't see everything, right? And I always wonder about certain places. Also, there is some truth to the old adage that things aren't as they appear, or even if someone has enough money to live like in a certain, say like the penthouse condo in the sky, it smells like burning over here. you never know. Like, people live in all different kinds of ways. Like, some people who grow up in a modest way would be like, oh my god, if I lived in a high-rise condo, I would totally, like, it would look like if I had that much money, it would look like a magazine, you know. So you'd be surprised. I've come into, you know, some households and it's been like, whoa, this is, I want to get out of here. The energy's really bad. Or some condos even. So the energy might be bad, or, you know, it's almost like a ranch house, like with their lazy boy recliner all ripped and shredded, you know, by the big screen TV that's in darkness. And you're like, I can't believe from the outside how beautiful this building looks, and on the inside, this person totally, you know, wrecked this condo. So anyway, so you never know. You know, some people have kids and that becomes a thing where, you know, you can only do so much. Sometimes the house becomes a wreck, or the condo or apartment or townhome, whatever. Stories from Philadelphia, and nothing is ever as it seems. You never, and it's interesting, you never know why people may or may not have money, or if someone's in a dwelling that's been shuttled through the government system. So someone could work for the government or be on a governmental system, and they're like, I can't believe we got to live here. So you never know. That's what someone told me once, like, you know, in some people's houses wind up, you know, on auction or foreclosure, or maybe drugs force these people into, you know, drug sales or whatever. They had to leave the home. And then that home winds up, I don't know how it works. I guess it automatically winds up in foreclosure or government property or what have you. And then they sell. And that's how the government gets its money, through a huge portion of issues, you know. That's about it. In a way, it's a business. So the idea is, try your best not to get in trouble. Because even, like, say you get in trouble and somebody has to bail you out. Because most family members don't want to see other family members suffer in a certain way. And it's like, don't do that, because that's how they're getting their money. You know, I don't know if they have agent provocateurs out here to drive people into a state of like flipping out, and then that person will wind up in trouble. So it's all a business. So I saw a documentary a long time ago about competitors between like advertisers or what have you, and some of the dirty tricks that were played that people didn't even think of. You know, a lot of people wouldn't even think of certain things. Technically, you know, some of those things might technically be illegal. It depends on how it's done. But anyway, that's my spiel. All right, can we make it across here before I got a little? We have 12 seconds, so I don't feel like waiting for this traffic. Crossing over the Vine Street Expressway. In 2021, I returned to Philadelphia in May. In fact, it was like May 26th of 2021. And later that year, we had like epic rain, flooding, and tornadoes in some, like New Jersey.